Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to address an issue that I did not address in the previous tutorial related to accepting input from a user. And to address that problem, I'm going to start by creating a variable called age, because we want to ask the user to provide us with his or her age. And like in the previous tutorial, we are going to use the input function because we want to accept input from the user, and we will ask the user, how old are you? How old are you? Once the user provides us with his or her age, then we want to print a message to him or her indicating that he or she is this old. You are age. This is part of a string concatenation that we are doing here. You are years old. So if we run this program at this point, we are not going to have any problems. So let's just simply run the program. And this is an issue that I want us to address. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it this way. So the program is generating the output to us, and in just a few seconds the output should be out here in the terminal. So yes, the output is here. Let's assume the user is 9 years old. The program does not enter into any problem because we have been able to generate the two output for the fourth and fifth lines of codes. And now by default the Python programs, the input from the user is a string, and that's why we are able to concatenate it here using the plus signs. If we try to make some adjustments, and maybe create another variable called name here, and we want to tell the user that he or she will be this old in the next 10 years, and then we want to print the output, just the name. Then if we were to run this program now, we will encounter some problems because the input from the user is a string, and now at this point we are trying to add a string here, age, to a number or an integer for that matter. Then let's run the program and to have a look at what we are trying to address in this tutorial. So the program is running and the output should be out so how old are you? The user is 9 years. If we run the program, we can see that the 6th and the 7th lines of code have not generated errors, and the error indicates that we cannot concatenate a string to an integer, because this is what we are doing. We are trying to do here. We are trying to add a string age to a number, and that's illegal in Python. There are two methods to address this problem, and I'm going to address both methods, which will be very critical to us at this point of running. So the first method, we can use the var function. This is a function in Python. You will learn. We are going to talk about it later in our tutorial. Then when we convert our input, we use the var function. then we convert the input from the user into an integer. So we should not run into the problems, but at this point we are still going to run into problems because of this line of code. So let's run the program to see what kind of problem we are going to have. So the program is running. So let's indicate that the user is still 9 years old. I have indicated now, because we have converted the input from the user into an integer, the program is complaining because we are trying here to concatenate or simply to join two strings together. We are trying, in this case, we are trying to concatenate an integer with a string, which is illegal in Python. That's why the program is complaining. To address this problem at this point, we will use the commas instead of plus signs to solve that problem, because now we are just adding the variable age as an integer at this point after converting it into an integer. So if we run the program now, we are not going to run into any problems. Let's do it right now and try running the program once again. So the program has run and the user is still 9 years old. So the program has run all the 4 lines of codes without generating any error, and that's why we have this output. This one is related to this print age, this one, the variable that we created here. So that's one method of addressing that problem. Another method would be to convert the input from the user into an integer once again by converting the input right at this point into an integer. The int function in this case converts the input from the user into an integer. Similarly, it does like what the var function did. So once we run this program, we should not encounter any problem. Let's do it and have a look at it. So the program is generating the output for us, and we do not expect to run into any problem. So the user is still 9 years old, and the program has generated the output like it did in the previous case, so without encountering problem. That's the tutorial was intended to demonstrate to you that the input by default, the input from the user is a string, is treated as a string by the Python programmer. So you need to make some adjustments to address that problem when you accept input from the user, especially when you accept integers or other types of or other data types. So thank you for watching. Remember to like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.